Now, on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. O'Connor and Company.
It's 8:07. It's our fourth hour. If you missed the first 3 hours, we're not going to hold it against you, but you can make it up to us. You can subscribe on all podcast platforms. Make sure you catch every moment of the show. But by the way, while you're there, if you go to the Apple Podcast, leave a review. We appreciate that, and a rating. It's Larry O'Connor here with Bethany Mandel riding shotgun this morning. And Bethany, it's always great to have you. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. And folks should go do the same for my podcast, The Mom Wars. While you're at it, 2 birds, 1 stone, friends.
Do you know what? How about 3 birds, baby? Subscribe to the Bearing Arms podcast, too,
yes,
with editor of Bearing Arms, Cam Edwards. Although, is it Cam and Company still the podcast? I can't remember what we call the podcast over at Bearing Arms. Cam, good morning.
We call it Bearing Arms, Cam and Company. So, yes, good morning.
It's both. There you go, Bearing Arms, Cam and Company. Cam, it's always great to hear your voice on our program. We miss you. And sadly, though, you're here as a bit of a voice in the wilderness, trying to draw everyone's attention to what Democrats are attempting to do to Second Amendment rights in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Break it down. What is going on, and what can we do about it?
I mean, what we're seeing here is an attempt to turn Virginia into California or New Jersey or Maryland in basically one session, right? We've seen dozens of bills introduced. Several bills are already starting to move, including Senate Bill 749, which would ban the sale and transfer of so-called assault firearms. It would also ban, Larry, the sale and transfer and possession of, quote-unquote, large-capacity magazines, which are right now any ammunition magazine that can hold more than 10 rounds. So, if you buy a Glock out of the box, you get your 17-round magazine. If this bill passes in its current form, as of July 1st, 2026, if you keep that magazine, you are guilty of a Class 1 misdemeanor punishable by up to 12 months in jail and or a $2,500 fine. We've also seen a permit to purchase measure introduced. So if you want to buy a gun, you're going to have to go through a training course. You're going to have to pay probably hundreds of dollars in fees to the Virginia State Police. You might have to wait 45 days in order to get your permit to exercise your Second Amendment rights. And, oh, by the way, all that information is going to be reported to the federal government. So we're going to give the feds a database of who's buying guns in Virginia.
I have noticed, I used to live in the great state of New Jersey, and so many of their attempted laws that they passed, all of these things, when I asked, and I had the opportunity once to ask a lawmaker, like very explicitly, like, what is your definition of X? They were so unfamiliar with guns that they could not give me anything resembling a definition. Is that the case with these people in Virginia who are trying to pass this? They're people who are legislating something that they have zero familiarity with, or where's the call coming from inside the House?
Some of these individuals, I think, have a familiarity with firearms. Senator Craig Deeds, for example, he's supporting the assault weapons ban during the Senate Courts of Justice Committee hearing. He was really concerned, is this going to impact my, 125-year-old lever gun that has a tubular magazine of more than 10 rounds? Others, I think, are simply taking language from the gun control lobby and running with it. We saw this in the Senate Courts of Justice Committee yesterday. There's a bill, SB 27, makes it easier to sue gun makers, gun sellers, gun distributors for the actions of criminals. The author of this bill couldn't explain the details, so they had to go to Giffords. They had to go to the Giffords lobbyist, who basically wrote the bill, and ask them for clarification, right? So
that would be the Giffords. That would be the gun control group named after the shooting of Gabby Giffords, right?
Right, exactly. So, the gun control groups don't just have a seat at the table. They're actually writing this legislation that the Democrats are pushing.
Cam, this is, and by the way, I've been saying all along that I think that Gabby Gifford. I've been thinking that Abigail Spanberger, the governor of Virginia, is going to veto a lot of the craziness that you're coming out of Richmond because she likes to position herself as a phony moderate. So they're throwing crazy on the gun stuff. Though I frankly, honestly, she did campaign on this, didn't she?
She did, not to the extent that I expected her to, but she has been very supportive of the gun control lobby, and in fact, I think she said that she'll sign any gun control bill that gets to her desk. So I'm concerned about this. I mean, there was a poll that came out yesterday, Christopher Newport University's State of the Commonwealth poll, showed 50% of Virginians want more gun control, 50% don't. And that's before, Virginians know a lot of these details. So I have a feeling that this is going to be pretty unpopular, and I'm hoping that we can actually apply some pressure to Governor Spanberger.
Now, today they're going to have a subcommittee hearing on this at 4 p.m. This is in the Public Safety Firearms Subcommittee. What are you looking for? And is this open to public comment or public activists in any way?
It is open to public comment. You should be able to sign up online. I will say that that you don't expect a lot of time to talk. Basically, just I'm here to oppose this bill, and maybe even not even give a reason why. This is now on the House side. So what we've seen is action on the Senate side so far, but now the House is starting to play catch up, and they've got again a half dozen bills. I think they're looking at the House version of the semi-auto ban. I believe the House permit to purchase bill is up there as well. But you've also got things that have not had hearings yet: an 11% excise tax on the sale of firearms and ammunition, a $500 tax on the sale of suppressors in Virginia. Those bills have been introduced. They haven't started moving yet, but I expect that they will before long.
And again, obviously, what groups do you suggest people participate? It's hard for an individual Virginian to have their voice heard, but some of the groups that protect gun ownership and gun rights are, some are better than others, but they do have a more powerful voice, I think, Cam. You have experience with all of them. Who do you think is sort of walking the walk and talking the talk these days?
So at the state level, the Virginia Citizens Defense League, the Virginia Shooting Sports Association. At the national level, I know NRA's been out there lobbying in Richmond, Gun Owners of America, and then when we get into the litigation side of things, which I think is coming, it's just a little bit further down the road, groups like the Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, they're not necessarily lobbying, but they're very active in court. So, any of those organizations, I think, deserve the support of Virginia gun owners. But honestly, Virginia gun owners also just need to be talking to their delegates, to their state senators, to tell them no. They also need to be talking to their county supervisors, their county sheriffs, their Commonwealth attorneys, and asking them, are you going to enforce these laws that infringe on our right to keep and bear arms?
So not to sound like a crazy prepper person, but what should Virginians be doing now? Like, should you be stocking up? I don't want to sound crazy. Just you tell me, what should Virginians be doing?
Well, the effective date for a lot of these bills right now, July 1st of this year. So if you want, an AR-15, I would buy one before July the 1st. If you want to spend less on ammunition, I would buy and stock up before July 1st when the cost may go up by 11%. If you don't want to go through a permit to purchase process to purchase a firearm, I would say buy those guns that you've been looking at before July 1st, because once July 1 rolls around, Democrats want this to be a very, very different state when it comes to our right to keep and bear arms.
Cam, while I've got you here, by the way, quickly, from your perspective, do these laws pass Supreme Court muster? Supreme Court's been moving rapidly in favor of Second Amendment rights. Is this all an exercise in futility because ultimately it won't pass muster at the Supremes?
That's my hope. The Supreme Court has not, weighed in on semi-auto bans or bans on large-capacity magazines. They've got several cases, actually, that they've been looking at in conference. I think they're waiting for a decision on New Jersey's gun and magazine bans to come out of the Third Circuit. I suspect that the Third Circuit is going to declare those laws unconstitutional, and we'll have a circuit court split, which I think will lead the Supreme Court to take one or more of these cases. But broad view, I think these are unconstitutional. And in fact, Harmeet Dillon, Assistant Attorney General, has said as much about the semi-auto and the large-capacity magazine ban that they're pushing in Virginia.
By the way, Cam, you must feel very gratified that so many of the MSNB or MS Now lineup now suddenly are all on board with Second Amendment rights and the right to carry at a protest after the Alex Preddy incident. Isn't it nice that you've got company now supporting the right to carry?
Yeah, it's great. I've been calling it 2A cosplay, and that's all that this is, right? They're saying what they're saying because they think they can score points off the Trump administration about this. If they really believe that, then they should be contacting Democrat senators. They should be lobbying Spanberger, and they're not. We know that.
BearingArms.com. BearingArms.com is your clearinghouse, especially at times like this. Cam's got the best analysis of all of it, and he's a great guy. Cam, always great to hear your voice. Thanks for being back.
You too, Larry. Good to talk to you, Bethany.
You too.